Hi, honey. My friends call me Rhea, and today we're getting a little crafty. I am so excited because, y'all, it took my entire life to make these magnets. Not because they were complicated or had some magical ingredient that I had to go on a quest to find, but because behind these little pieces of art was a lifetime of becoming, of growing, discovering my inner meaning of things, and learning how to create in the unseen. I have always wanted to be on YouTube. In fact, I've been on YouTube sporadically since I was a child, but for some reason, for years, I stopped myself from sharing out of perfectionism, self-doubt, the belief that I wasn't ready. When I was younger, I was always creating and sharing what I was creating, and it was a lot easier back then. Ah, yes, the days before I had to give up on my artistic endeavors to focus on becoming a stable adult with healthy habits and routines. Before that, I was creating, always creating, quietly, privately, and in the background. And I think that's where we should go to create, where we are unhindered and can do things unabashedly and with the exact amount of energy and focus that your creativity needs of you. Over time, I saw that everyone and their dog was able to capitalize off of their art, and I too wanted my passions to become my job. But I poisoned myself with this mindset of making art and creating for personal gain, and it took all of the meaning out of it for me. So eventually I lost hope that I could ever support myself, despite many attempts at selling on Instagram, Twitter, Etsy, and other avenues. Thinking that I have to make something of myself in this way was incredibly belittling, not only to me, but my art. I held myself back when I felt pressure to turn every idea into content to be seen, and under that pressure, I stopped making anything at all. Because I wanted to share so badly, I forgot how to simply create for the sake of it. And don't get me wrong, I can still doodle on a piece of paper or write a poem, but when you're lost like this, when you get this creative block because of desiring more out of your life, out of your circumstances, you forget how to create in a way that is pure. I had a moment with myself, and I couldn't tell you exactly when, but from then to now, among the silence of things growing, I began to create myself. So I want to use cake as a silly little analogy. So, you find yourself as a human being having never baked a cake before, and you don't have any of the tools or ingredients. You use the resources you have to figure out what you need, and step by step, you learn how to bake a cake. It doesn't turn out quite right the first time, but eventually, you can make a cake that you are really proud of. So is true with life. You have never lived this life before. You may not have all the right tools, ingredients, or resources right away to create the life you want to have or the person you want to be, but it is by allowing yourself to learn about your unique process that you will eventually make a life and a version of you that you can be proud of. So, I want to call myself an artist of sorts, but I have a confession. Up until now, I haven't been able to bring myself to complete a tangible project. All my projects have been focused on survival and stability. Essential to growing and creating my process was and is discovering inner meaning, and using this inner meaning to build out ideas, inspiration, and a vision to use as guidance. For instance, the pictures I have chosen to paint on the magnets represent things from my inner world. I took the concept of the things unseen and attached imagery from my own life to that concept. Sometimes we don't even know the deeper reasons behind the most simple parts about us, Like, why is your favorite color your favorite color? My therapist and I were talking, and she asked me if I had merch or something that symbolized this new chapter in my life. What would it look like? And what would I create? And I told her it would have something to do with a butterfly. It would probably be a butterfly. And she asked me what color it would be, and I answered, of course it would be green, and the little black dots on its wings would be tiny stars. And she asked me why green. And this is crazy because this is actually something I don't think I've ever thought about. I understand the associations with green, but I never explored the deeper emotional meaning as to why my favorite color was green. And I answered because green is my favorite color, and it reminds me of the mountains and nature, and those things conjure feelings of peace and safety for me. I also showed her a picture of my green rain jacket as a child, which was the exact shade of green that I envisioned the butterfly would be. Exploring and understanding your inner meanings can bring so much authenticity into your process, and identifying these things reminds me that I can turn a new page and start a new chapter at any time. Creating in the unseen taught me something, that the work still matters even when no one's watching, that I can trust my own timing and trust that this is a part of my journey. This is what I believe now. I like my mistakes. I like how I learn from them. That's my process. That's my art. Now I have creative energy to share. Not because I've figured it all out, but because I've accepted who I am and where I've been. And I'm okay with how the future unfurls despite not knowing exactly where I'm going. The things unseen. The stars that have twinkled and only your eye caught it. The things, people, and places you've bled for. First bite of an apple. The love that exists within a home. The keys to your heart and why you locked your heart up in the first place. The growth of a strawberry. The moment the knot of your bow holds everything in place. The things that your past loved ones show up to you as. I am not afraid anymore. I don't judge myself for how long it took or for how long I didn't create. Because even when I wasn't making anything tangible, I was still creating me. YouTube feels like it could be art therapy for me, a hobby and an artistic medium. Thank you so much for watching today's video. If you liked it, subscribe and don't die. And until next time, bye then you.